All right, on today's video, we're gonna dive into the Cochrane market a little bit more. And in doing so, we're gonna find out, what does $700,000 get you in Cochrane versus Calgary? So if you've been considering moving out of Calgary and moving into Cochrane, this is gonna be a perfect video for you. Or if you're somebody considering moving into the Calgary area from out of province and you wanna know what's the difference, Cochrane versus Calgary, where does my money go further and what does that get me in each of these two centers, this video is going to answer that. My name is Reid and I'm a real estate agent with Real Broker. I focus primarily on the Cochrane and acreage market west of Calgary. I think it's a really important thing to understand what the differences are between Northwest Calgary and Cochrane, and understanding the different values that each one of those areas can provide. So follow along. I'm going to jump into the video here real quick and we'll just go over, what does $700,000 get you in Cochrane versus Calgary. In order to answer that question of what does $700,000 get me in Cochrane versus Calgary, I went ahead and I dug up two different listings, and to keep them as similar as possible, I looked at one of the Northwest communities in Calgary, Tuscany, and then obviously pulled a home from Cochrane. The community I chose in Cochrane is Sunset Ridge. I've got a video on Sunset Ridge, so if you're interested about the community, and I'll touch on a few of its aspects in the video here, you can watch that video up top. So first things first, we're gonna dive into the Calgary home first. And so Tuscany is a neighborhood in Northwest Calgary. I chose it because it's conveniently located just off of Highway 1A and Stoney Trail in that Northwest section. On your way from downtown Calgary, you would actually drive past Tuscany to get to Cochrane. So I thought it was a very good comparison to just see what moving 15 minutes down the road would get you in a price difference. So the home that I picked, you can just see it right here. I'll pop up a picture right here. It's a 2,100 square foot home. It was built in 1999. It's got 3 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms, and it is a developed walkout basement. Some of the really cool features about the home is that it does face west. So off the back patio, you actually do have mountain views, so which is awesome. Now, some of the things that to note about the house, and I'll show you them here, is that it's got a reasonably sized kitchen. It looks like it's had some updating done to it. The primary ensuite is large. There's a shower, separate bathtub, but it does look like that primary ensuite could use some updating. Now, as I've mentioned in other videos, that 2,100 square foot size that I list for this property is just anything above grade. So the walkout basement living space is not included in that. So there will actually be some additional living area that's not quoted in the 2,100 square foot sizing. Now, if you see the basement development, you can see that it was done with some wood paneling and some maybe dated finishings, built in 1999. So the basement could have been renovated soon after that. So that's just something to keep in mind, that there again is some updating that likely needs to happen with this home. Now, this home is currently listed at $699,900, which is right at that $700,000 mark. However, if you look at this aerial photo here that'll pop up, the siding on the back side of the house is not finished and has been removed due to weather, due to what, the reasons aren't clear. There is a note that says the home is sold with siding as is. So the cost of repairing that siding is gonna fall on the new purchaser, unless you can work something like that into the negotiation. Speak to your realtor about that. And that'll just kind of be a talking point, I'm assuming, in the negotiations for this house. With that being said, it is a developed walkout, and it does offer a 3.5 bath home and a bonus room with a fireplace upstairs. And there's just some really cool features about the house itself. Now, Tuscany, the community, does have an HOA, and that HOA is about $290 a year. And what that does is, like most HOAs, it gives you maintenance to all of the common areas in the community, whether that be mowing the green areas, upkeep of shrubbery, managing any outdoor rinks that are present, and everything like that. Now, Tuscany itself does have access to the LRT station up on Cochrane Trail. So it's super convenient to just drive up, hop on the LRT in Brentwood or Dalhousie or any of the stations there to get into downtown. However, if you wanted to drive and do that commute, it's about half an hour into downtown Calgary. Tuscany, again, being right on Highway 1A and Stoney Trail, does give you some access to head south on Stoney and get down to Highway 1 pretty easily, and really close access to Canada Olympic Park. And then again, being that it's right on Stoney, you can wrap up around the north side of the community and get north should you need as well. So Tuscany, the community, is really located in a nice spot in Calgary. And this is the type of home that you can get in Tuscany for $700,000. Okay, so now let's jump into Cochrane and find out what does $700,000 get for you there. Now for this one, I chose a house in the community of Sunset Ridge. And again, you can see my community video on Sunset Ridge up here in the corner. Sunset Ridge is a large master built community in Cochrane, and it's located just north of Cochrane up Highway 22. The community boasts over 22 phases, and so there's quite a few homes available. Now, this home that I've chosen is a newer built home. It was built in 2017, and it's listed at 2,400 square feet, and it has 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. So you gain an extra bedroom here, you gain 300 extra square feet above grade. Now this home's basement is undeveloped, so that's something that you will have to do yourself, is to, should you choose, develop that basement. Now this home does face north is its front exposure, so you have a south facing backyard, which will be excellent in the summertime and even in the winter to just make sure you're getting all of that sunshine in. A south facing backyard is so nice when you're out in the backyard barbecuing and just to have that sun constantly in that backyard. So that's huge in my opinion. I think it's a really nice touch. Now the other great thing about this home is that it does back onto a pathway, a community pathway and green space. So you don't have a home directly behind it. So you do have that bit of space before the next lot, and you have direct access to the pathways that you can jump on and walk across the street, and you're minutes away from the K-8 school in Ranch House Elementary. And then with being in that kind of portion of Sunset Ridge, those community pathways get you down closer to the Pinnacle Estates and get you connected into the Ranch House pathway system that runs along the south portion of Sunset Ridge, which just provides you views of that Ranch View Valley, which is stunning. Now, Sunset Ridge also has a homeowners association, much the same as Tuscany. And all that does is, again, take care of your green spaces, any outdoor rinks, mowing. And that homeowners association charges $125 a year per household. Not expensive. It's actually less than half the price of Tuscany's HOA fees. And Sunset Ridge has a big, beautiful pond right in the center of the community with walking trails all the way along it, as you see here. I'll put that aerial footage up above. So the Sunset Ridge community just has that really beautiful feature of the water and the parks and the pathways. It's a newer community than Tuscany, so the playgrounds are updated and newer. And all of this is gained by driving 20 minutes down the road. This home was originally listed for $715,000, but is dropped now to $699,900, and it needs no updating. And one of the best features of this house, in my opinion, and I've kind of waited till the end, is look at this kitchen. It's a stunning kitchen. It's got upgraded Electrolux appliances, very big, open, big island, great for cooking in the house, great for entertaining. I think it's a really nice feature to kind of center on that house. Primary ensuite is nice and big too, with a big soaker tub and separate shower. So very similar amenities to the Tuscany house, but again, it's just newer and more updated. Now, if you're planning on moving to Cochrane and you're still concerned with commuting into Calgary to work in downtown Calgary, know that Cochrane has a commuter service called On It Commuter. And so that is an option that if you didn't want to have to drive that extra 20 minutes every day, there actually is a commuter service that takes you right downtown. So that's just an option going out there. If you want to get some more information about the public transit and the transit options that Cochrane has to offer, I do talk about the On It Commuter in my video here up top, talking about Cochrane's transportation. And so there's some really good information in there for you as well. So just looking at these two houses side by side, you know, Tuscany on one side and Sunset Ridge on the other, you're getting a very similar sized house. You get a little bit more living space in the Tuscany home, even though it's advertised as smaller, because it does already have a developed basement. However, with the Tuscany home, you are going to have to potentially do some updating, and you are going to have to deal with the siding repairs if the sellers are unable to move on that issue. Now, the Cochrane house being at the exact same price point, you just get a much newer home. You do get an extra 300 square foot of living space. You get a much nicer, bigger kitchen, and then you can develop the basement. And that way you're just in control of what rooms you put where and make that space work best for you. The Cochrane house also has the benefit of having the house back onto a pathway system, which is super valuable, and to be walking distance to an elementary school. Super great for a young family to have that property super close to the K-8 school. And then also being that Sunset Ridge is on Highway 22, it's just a short drive down the hill. Now, right now, there is some construction that you are gonna have to deal with for a few years, getting down 22 as they redo that Highway 1A, Highway 22 interchange. However, Highway 22 takes you down, again, like I said, to Highway 1A, which could take you west out to Canmore, or you could continue south on Highway 22 and hit Highway 1 out to Banff. So you are a little bit closer to the mountains than you are in Tuscany. And some of the homes can have the potential of mountain views like Tuscany. Now, if this video made you think, hey, Cochrane does sound like the right place for me, I'd love to jump on a call with you and go over what your needs are, what you're looking for, and which community in Cochrane might be the best one for you. And that way we can make sure that your home search is tailored right to you. So jump on a call. My information is in the description of the video below, and I'll also tack it into a pinned comment below. These two homes, as a note, at the time of me shooting the video, are currently still on the market. Now, depending on when you watch this video, these two homes may not be available, but these are the two homes I chose for the video purposes, just to compare the Northwest Calgary to Cochrane. I thought that they were just two very similar properties, you know, separated by a mere 20 minutes, just to give you an idea of what coming out to Cochrane will get you for the same price. As always, I hope you really enjoy these videos. If you want to stay informed of when the next one comes out, you can hit the subscribe button down below, and I wouldn't mind it if you threw a like in there. And if you have any questions that I didn't answer about these two homes and you would like to know more, drop those in the comment below, or better yet, shoot me an email and let's go over those questions. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.